Hello, hello, hello. Are we okay? Do we have audio working fine? Sure hope so. I was even doubting myself for a moment there. Let's change this one. Ease into it. Ease into it. Yeah, I think that's better. I think we're back. Good, you can hear me. Great, great to have you all in the chat. On the countdown. Let's just see. Tanya is here. Michelle is here. Jen is here. Welcome, welcome. I had a thought. I did have that thought, but we don't mutter such things. Hey Valerie, all the way from New York. Great to have you here. Welcome. Only 5 thumbs up. We've got 9 right now on YouTube. I know you did it a little bit ago. But yeah, hit that like button. Thumbs up. Yeah, I was 2 minutes late. I was 2 minutes late. 2 minutes, oh my goodness. Hey Rick, great to have you here as well. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whoops. Are you in Liverpool? I see that's the Liverpool football. I used to live in Liverpool. I was there for like 2 years. Great to have you here, Kevin. Did I say that? Welcome. Hey, Rosa. Great to have you here as well. Happy Monday. MZ is here as well. Welcome. Great to see you. So you're chatting with one another on YouTube. Sounds good? Good. That's good. Who knows? Who knows? So the context of that is someone commented that I sound like Dracula. Or a vampire. One or the other. So Count Clough. Sounds pretty cool though, right? Would you, if it didn't mean having to bite people, choose to be a vampire? If you could have to be awake at night, sleep in the day, but you get to live forever. Would you? So my foot is better, thank you. Better, not fully better. So I haven't been able to go for a run all weekend or today. So that's got me down a little bit because I like to go for a run. But thank you for asking. I mean, it's Treason Day tomorrow in America. So I got a bit of a day off. I mean, Independence Day, sorry. Independence Day tomorrow. So I got a bit of a day off tomorrow. So I'm hoping to go for a run. I gotcha. Oh, I gotcha on that one. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Being an inspiration. Already hope you are well. You'd rather be a werewolf. Any good werewolf movies? I watched one a couple of times. It's one on a train. An English one. Dog Soldiers, that was another one, right? Another good English one. Thank you very much. points for the voice. So
if I spoke like this, I'd lose all the points. So go ahead and just relax. Give yourself this opportunity.
But thank you ever so much. Wow, the reason being is Jen said, oh, there's no music. But that's because the video, this is not a pre-recorded video. Because I'm communicating with you. I'm not AI either. But the volume wasn't working or something like that, but I don't think the stream actually started because it was all working in my ears and I was 2 minutes late, so that's why I kind of mentioned it. But I do like to start usually 10 minutes to the hour to make it a good countdown. In fact, I'm trying to go at 10 minutes 30 seconds because there's a 30-second delay getting to you. So there's around 20-30 seconds. So that's why a bit of latency. I did not say that. I did not say that. It's Independence Day. Do you know why Independence, the 4th of July even, is a good day? Because it's my dad's birthday tomorrow. In 51 minutes. It's my dad's birthday. So... thank you, my friend. Great to have you here. I didn't say that. You misheard the pronunciation of independence. They're very similar. I'm probably like one of those stereotypical people, men who don't go to doctors, really. I don't remember last time I went to a doctor was when I had to get tested to be able to be living over in America, make sure I'm healthy. But I'm usually kind of healthy. But no, but my mum, I spoke to my mum yesterday and she said, have you gone to the doctor? Or do you need to go to a doctor? I was like, I don't need to go to the doctor because I can put pressure or weight on my foot. So like I can kind of go up and down now. So there's no broken bone. It's just some kind of something. It works. It works. My foot works. So I've just got to just test it out tomorrow. But I have been stretching. I've been trying to stretch more. But thank you. I don't think I honestly need to go to a doctor. Yeah, I was doing lots of stretching though. Do I like barbecue? Yeah, I do. I do like to barbecue. I don't really barbecue. I don't actually own a barbecue right now, so that makes it pretty hard. It's weird that you said that because I saw my friends in England, they went on a camping trip and they were barbecuing, and that was just before the stream I was looking at, the photos. So that's interesting. But I guess it's a barbecue kind of time of year. But we had a barbecue when my brother came to visit. I didn't do the barbecuing, he did it. But I can barbecue and I like it. Ah, that's so awesome. So awesome. You can be that inspiration. Absolutely. Oh, wrong one. Congratulations, my man. Hey, welcome to the live stream. And if you don't know, people, I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, pretty much consistently around the year. Probably take a few of them off here and there. If I'm teaching, if I'm seeing family in England, that's usually the only times, but other than that, my earpiece feels weird. But great to have you here. I didn't say that. I never said Treason Day. You misheard me. You misheard me. Thank you. I'll be sure to let him know. I'm going to give him a call tomorrow. So that's very kind of you. Yeah, it is really hard. Right? Because having a conversation with a delay, you're bound to kind of just like trip up on each other. So yeah, I see those when the connection, the latency is too long. Hey, you're on a Monday stream. What, your Tuesday stream? Usually it's the weekend. Yeah, your weekend, my Friday. I don't know why I'm gonna have to check the replay. So, I don't know if this was then, but I saw a video online of the guy, who's the lead singer. It's not like Axel, is it? Or is that the guitarist? But it looked a bit strained, like his voice. I know it was kind of strained a little bit, and that's not a negative, because he's got a very interesting voice. But was it like kind of in tune? Unless I just saw the wrong one. So yeah, I'll go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's like the pre-show to the podcast, and then we'll do a little after one. We usually start around now to about 10 more minutes, and then we'll get into today's content. And then Wednesday I'll be doing a hypnosis session live to complement this session. And then from that hypnosis session, I'll be making that in post-production to a sleep session. So we'll have covered all the bases. Great to have you here, TD. Yeah. Well, I've rested since Wednesday. I think I did it on I think I did it on Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. So I've rested Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's almost 5 days I'd have rested and not gone for a run. So, I'll see. What kind of barbecue? Ooh. I'm trying to think of something interesting. I'll have to think. Oh, you mean barbecue sauce you're talking about? Yeah, because you got the different kinds, right? The two you just mentioned, in fact. One with the more alcohol-ish flavor. Not flavor, but you know, that kind of strong tang. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Very kind of you. I never get invited to 4th of July parties. I think it's because I'm English. I think I'm being excluded. Happy birthday to Mr. Clough the Elder. Yes, my father is his birthday tomorrow. Hey Claudia, great to have you all the way on Facebook. Yeah, it's my daddy's birthday. Oh. Yeah. I get it. I was right. Axel. I did say Axel. Got his first name. Yeah, that's who I meant. Okay, that's a long time. That's good that you got a good performance. It must have been an off one when I saw it on video. There's a real nice winery near me. It was like 45 minutes to an hour. It's the Southern California of the Napa winery, if you know what I mean. It's not as good. I've been to Napa once or twice. But it's a really cool one called Temecula. Truth. See you saying hello to each other. I could look into it. I haven't. I could put it on my list. So and also it depends on the context. And there's where I'd have to be very conscious. Is the unconscious mind, let's say there's lots of trauma, the unconscious mind represses memories for protection. And it doesn't have to be crazy trauma, because anything with like some kind of stuff, that's what it does. So to create an audio, you've then got to potentially tackle first the healing or the learnings of those memories at a distance. So then the unconscious mind can present those memories without any negative attachment. So think of like a memory and it's charged with an emotion. So let's say that's just negative emotions. Then if we go, oh, now I can remember, and then you see the memory with the emotional charge, and I'm just saying this for everyone, like that's what happened, because it's doing a track for everyone. If someone has had significant traumas, you'd have to do the track in a certain way that allows total safety and protection. And that's usually preserve the learnings, so the emotion's no longer needed, and then the memory presents itself. I had a client of mine once who could not remember like 2 years of their life. And it was a lot easier because I was with them and I created something for them because I knew it inside out. And then it got the result they were able to remember. But doing it en masse, you just gotta be, not that it's bad, right? Like, we went through those events, so sometimes like some therapies want you to dive into memories and relive lots of hurtful things, so it's not something bad if it does happen, but it's not nice either, and I like to be nice, but I can think about it first. I don't think there'd be too many fireworks where I am. They usually have them on the ocean because we're like fire risk. But there's a big hill I can go to and view the ocean, and it's usually at dark night. You can see like 4 or 5 different locations, but you're not missing anything. Do you know what one of the best 4th of Julys I went to? Because I was living once again in a fire risk place, and this was a couple of years ago. Actually, it was at the winery, the Temecula. Drones are the way forward. Seriously, if you look on LAN and look for drone shows and you find the right one, it's fantastic. And it's obviously safe because you live in a fire risk area. But that was amazing. But yeah, not missing anything. No problems at all. Welcome to the stream. Pleased to hear that you've been helping people make positive changes. Serious Clough, yes. can't remember what I was saying. Hey, superstar. Awesome. So you've got access to it before anyone else. In fact, you're the first person to probably ever listen to that. But for everyone else, don't worry, it's coming out this week on the app. Welcome to the stream. Just found this channel, so I go live Monday, Wednesday. I gotta sing my eye. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday is more of a motivation. Wednesday is live hypnosis. Friday is more of a chill out, and it's all about personal development. It's all about hypnosis. On my channel, you got over 100 hypnosis sessions on there, and we're almost at 16. Oh, we didn't check. Could it be a celebration stream at the same time? Let's have a quick check. Since you're here, you could be part of our celebrations, if it's a celebration time. So we have now officially, yes, we have actually. We've now hit 14 million downloads of the podcast. 14 million downloads. So, yay. So that's pretty awesome. 14 million downloads. This music's way too chill for celebration though. But great to have you here. So if you want to increase your confidence, release stress, worries and doubts, I'm here to help. But there's like a bit of a pre-show before I actually do a live recording of the podcast. And like all these lovely welcomes as well. Look at that. For me, yeah, I'd say so. That's what I'd usually do. Well, no, not sorry, I was misreading your question. Like, I thought it said, can it be done in one session? And then I was like, yeah, it can. Is that something that can be done on a one-to-one session? Yes. But you've actually got access. You, my friend. You have access to some wonderful processes that is all about doing that, which is I'm trying to think what module it is, 7? So you'll get there soon. I did actually reply to an email of yours about an hour ago, I think, as well, just so you know. Nice. That's so awesome. And just so you know, that is actually on the app. So let's bring it up. So the Abundance, if you haven't got the app, go ahead and get the app. It's free to download. You get 7-day full free access with no subscription required. You got all these hypnosis sessions in day and in night form. You can heart it, so that goes to the top of the feed. You can put a night mode and it gives an extra 15 minutes and kind of takes you down into a sleep. You can download it, which I recommend for nighttime listening, because a lot of people just press play and then turn off their phone, but it hasn't fully buffered. You got custom hypnosis sessions right there within the app, where you get to choose your symptoms along with the core issue. I like that song. We've also got the 4-hour sessions. Look, right at the top. Oh, we missed it, but there's the Abundance one there, I think. If not, you got the Money Mindset. So that track is actually on the app, and you can just download it. That means you don't have, unless you've got YouTube Premium, it's all there. And plus your audio programs and wonderful things. Night mode, sleep mode, dark mode, light mode, whatever you call it. Create your own playlist. Awesome. Of course, I would take that any day of the week. So I've hurt my foot. Just for context. Great to have you here, and thank you so much. We are all condensed energy after all. Like a sea of energy. And I believe in the holographic universe. And thank you, that's so kind of you. And that means, does that mean I get to run tomorrow? Can I go for a run now? Yeah, they're pretty awesome, right? Yeah. Hey Lynn, great to have you here. Welcome, superstar. That makes no sense, does it? Am I back? I'm not even caught up yet. No, I didn't get any invites. Maybe do a virtual one. We'll do a virtual one. These are our fireworks, all we need. There's no fireworks there, though. Every day is a celebration. 14 million, yes. Oh, I'm so slow and behind on the comments. 14 million podcast downloads. Someone who does a podcast for a living. I can add that to my list. What I want to do with the app is, I don't know what you'd call it. Is it synonyms? Synonyms? What is that? Where you type in like anxiety, and then that word will be chained to other words like worry, and it will bring up worry as well if anxiety is not there or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Oh no. But I'll look into that. Okay, you got it. Peter, come on in. Welcome to the stream, Peter. Am I back? I always wonder which way my face looks. I've lost who I am. I think that's who I am. Okay, 14 million, yes. So the way I judge it is, right now, there's the maths. I had 2 million on my previous server. I've got over 15,000 on my new premium of the podcast, and then I've got 11,998,465. So if you add the 10 or so, 7 to 10,000, we've done it anyway, plus the 2 million. If you add YouTube to that, I don't know what we're on at YouTube, 2 million I think? That's like 16. Oh, did I miss that? It's my left. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know if I'm getting all the comments in, or I am just... How did you understand that from my words of saying that? Synonyms. Synonyms. There you go. That would be more likely. Okay, I've caught up with the comments, I think. Well, the goal of any good therapist, hypnotherapist, is to create problems to solve. I'm kidding. I want all problems to go. I feel like I'm missing people. Did I miss? Okay, we are half hour into the show. We should probably get to the actual episode. And this was pretty much requested. So today we're speaking about speaking powerfully. And then Wednesday we'll be doing a hypnosis. And then Friday, I don't even know what I'm streaming on Friday. Oh, awesome. Watch out for the hypnosis version coming out. What do you mean? What do you mean? You can't say that. I get to decide. Can I? Am I allowed to run? Am I? Okay, there's gonna be episode 838 as well. 838. So I'm gonna mute myself. And then I'm back. And then we'll get to it. Yes, they will. Oh my goodness, Kevin Michael Reed is late. You've been busy working. Oh my goodness, we got 19 thumbs and we haven't even started. We should maybe never do content. Hey Melody, well I'll touch upon that as well. Interesting. That gets interesting because a lot of my older ones have a lot of ones. So I want people to listen to my newer stuff because the audio is better. Hello, Kevin Michael Reed. That would be cool. I can tell you right now, not the free section. Should we have a quick look before we start? I feel like we're not starting. Is it a problem that we're not starting soon? Let me know. Otherwise, we'll do content far out of it. People ask questions and chat, and I don't know if that's a good thing for people. They're like, oh, when's he going to get going to the episode? Or if it's a bad thing or a good thing. So real-time analytics right now, 75 people. We've got people in Melbourne, Adelaide. Let's zoom in. I can't show you on the screen at the moment. I promise you this is true. Is it Antwerp in Belgium? Crawley in England, Coventry, Batley in England. We've got Edinburgh, Glasgow. We've got New York. We've got Grand Rapids. This looks like in Michigan. Clarendon Hills. Looks like Chicago. Clarendon. We've got, Fairchild Air Force Base in Washington, the state of Washington. And 2 people, and I didn't even see those numbers of people. 2 in New York, 2 in Seattle, and it's not even nighttime for America. Coventry, Gravesend, London. It blows my mind to think people are listening to me right now while I'm still here. Oh, and Sydney just popped up with 3 people. Melbourne with 4 people. Adelaide with 3. Sheesh. On my stats, had 1 download in North Korea. I promise you that's true. We've got no hurry, let's go. Hey my friend, welcome. Let's go. Okay, and I went on that little kind of thing. Did Connecticut come up? Did I see Connecticut? No. There's just for the hypnosis section. Denmark. Well, yeah, not... If you're listening into the app, then yes. There's not my YouTube people. Okay, we gotta get going. It's 5:30. Well, it's 3:36 where I am, in sunny California. Okay, let's get going. We can have a chat after. Let's get going. Okay, even. Ready? Steady. Let's. 838. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 837 on how to speak powerfully. And right there, I made a little mistake. But that's okay, because speaking is not about the lack of making mistakes. It's about being able to communicate a message where hopefully the intention is to resonate with whoever you're speaking with. So this episode is about how to speak powerfully, congruently, and in a way that allows your ideas to get across to people on an individual, a group, or a very, very big group. That's the intention. Now, the next episode is going to be an accompanying hypnosis session, and then we'll have a bonus session as well as a sleep session. And that means we've covered all bases, or bases, whatever that would be, for the conscious, the day, and the sleep. So, first of all, I want you to know I was so bad at communicating growing up. I had big issues, from anxieties, fears, blushing, feeling anxious, which a lot of you know if you've been listening to me for a while, because I talk about my story. For the first 18 years of my life, I felt like all the attention was on me, and therefore I froze when it came to communicating. But now I've spoken on stages in front of 2,000 people in London, at a Hay House Summit, and many other places, speaking with translators next to me, where you have to be very specific in your communication so then they can translate it. In that case, it was into Hebrew. So I've had to learn to be able to communicate in a way that would hopefully have an impact on the type of things I'd like to say to people. So how did I do that? Well, first of all, I wanted to understand how the lack of speaking congruently and publicly actually is created. Now, it could go back, and I heard this a while back, it could go way back in time, like in our genes, that any time we were in front of people, it was when we were going to be judged in front of our community and our village, like being called up in front of someone. So that could be one level of it. But then I was thinking about, well, how else can it happen? When we have this fear of communicating, or anxiety, fear, worry, the nervousness in the voice. And one thing, my voice used to always kind of hesitate and break. Well, for me personally, it just goes way back to school. Like, if you're an unconfident person as a kid, there are many times at school when you are in front of people. I remember you'd have to read a paragraph, and then another kid would read another paragraph. And there's that hesitation, just waiting. Am I going to be next? I'm coming up closer and closer and closer. Or sometimes even worse, when you're just made to stand up in front of everyone, in front of all your peers, in front of an authority figure, when you are being judged upon the answer. And if you're not very good at that subject, then of course, you're going to probably hesitate. So there's many experiences like that, which then creates an association, an unconscious fear-based decision that causes us to go, I don't like to speak, because we have this threat of judgment, of being rejected, or if we're a bit of a people pleaser sometimes, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to make people feel bad. Or if we're not good enough or worthy, it makes us go, am I correct here? You're second guessing yourself. You think like you're an imposter. So it's easy to see how the unconscious mind gets trained up from the very, very young age at school to be fearful of the consequence of being picked on to speak in public. And even if you're not a public speaker, this is going to be important because you can utilize what I'm about to say on an individual level, on any level really. But I'm going to broaden it out so it allows us to be able to get the point across in a way that they understand. Now, one of the things that people tend to do when they speak is they speak way too quickly. Way too quickly. 93% of all communication is unconscious. 7% is words. The rest is our tonality and our physiology. So the tone goes down to the speed. It goes down to the, in other words, like the tempo, the pitch, and even like the way that we group words together. And then the physiology is like, you know, our physiology. Like if you're looking down, or if you're kind of closed up, it's going to communicate a certain message. So when it comes down to speed, one of the greatest things that I learned, and here's a trick that I discovered on stage, was to say nothing for 30 seconds or so. And it was very scary for me, but I wanted to embrace silence. You see, if you're very quick in your words, and look, I'm human, sometimes I speak really, really quickly when I get too passionate about things. But it's good to have that variability where you slow things down and just embrace the moment, even though it's scary. And we'll cover some tips on that as well, right? We'll cover some things around that. But I want us to slow down the language because it cuts out the ums and the ahs. I don't think I really do. I've been complimented on anyway. I don't tend to do too many ums and ahs on the podcast. I might be wrong, or they may be wrong, but I put it down to slowing down and having space between my words. So I can go very quick in my communication because I want you to truly transform. But then I want you to slow it down, that the listener starts to really get that information. So we want to be able to slow it down, which then creates the ums and ahs to disappear. But let's get into when it comes to the fear and the anxiety and the worries and the doubts. One way that I think is superb, other than the hypnosis session, which will be coming out in the next episode, is something that you've got to practice. Usually, we're in a very highly associated state when we're doing speaking because all the attention is on us. Right? It's just, I don't know if you've ever been in that situation. I'm sure you will resonate if public speaking is an issue, or even when you're around just a couple of people who may be authoritative or your peers or what have you. You tend to notice this closing in where the energy is focused on you. Well, those who are very good at public speakers just radiate. That's all they do. They don't take anything in. They radiate that out. And the reason how they begin to learn, I think, whether they're consciously aware of it or it just happens naturally, because a lot of the work that I teach is taking the natural process and then doing it in a conscious and unconscious way to help someone. So it's not making things up, it's just modeling what works and then installing it in people. So going back to communication, it's a very highly associated situation. You're looking through your own eyes and all the attention's there. You're feeling all the feelings in your heart, your stomach. You've been thinking about it all the time. You've been probably thinking about, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I look silly? What if I trip up? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I get rejected? And it puts your neurology in a spin. So how do we conquer that? Well, immediately the practice is to dissociate from that situation. And there's what you do before you get into speaking. And it's pretty much pre-teaching your unconscious mind of how you will be. The unconscious mind very much struggles to decipher between what is real and what is imagined. You've heard me say that before. From watching movies, which are thrillers or scary, you feel the emotion knowing it's still not real. Or you see all these sports athletes hitting a ball, and then you see like the audience or the spectators kind of mimicking their physiology because they're in the moment. So the unconscious mind really can't distinguish too well between what is being observed or seen or imagined, and therefore you have that reaction. So when you start to step away from yourself and we go into this meta position, dissociated position, you are very highly associated, looking through your own eyes, and now you're observing that there is a lack of feeling there. See, because you're not in the situation, you're just observing yourself. When that happens, your unconscious mind starts to reconnect to the normal state that you would like to be in. And then the goal is to be able to future pace how you would like that conversation to go, whether it be public speaking, whether it be in a small space, maybe it's just like you got an interview coming up. Whatever it is, it still works. You go ahead and imagine even before you were ever in that situation. So in other words, it could be like observing yourself. Let's say you're going to sleep the night before and you just imagine yourself going to sleep, waking up amazingly, seeing that you get ready in the morning, seeing that you go to that place where you'll be doing that talk, and see that you going throughout that conversation, looking cool and calm, your posture is centered, seeing you slow down, being able to express what you really want, seeing the wonderful faces or face, being very observant, and going all the way to the end. Now, if you do that repetitively or repeatedly, your unconscious mind is learning a new strategy. It's visual rehearsal, but the key here is focusing on the outcome of how you want to be, not what you don't want, but how you want to be, and doing it in a dissociated way, observing yourself, almost like observing a you in a movie. Now, the other thing I like to think about, and I try to do this on a lot more when I'm teaching, because that's when I'm really getting into public speaking, is that there are different kinds of people who take in different bits of information. There are the why people, like, why is this important for me to know? There's the how people, I just want to know how it works. There's the what people, like they just want to know what it is. And then you got like the what if people, which is almost like, well, what if they do use it? What is it going to mean? So sometimes we just tend to speak in a way that is just to a certain kind of person, like just the why, but you're missing out on all the how people, the what people. So when I'm trying to come up with a way of talking, I like to try to express why it's important, what it is, how it works, and what if you apply this today. And that way, when I'm communicating with people, they're going to understand what I'm saying. And that is the power of words. So although it's 7% of our communication, if you can go ahead and articulate a nice conversation by putting more whys and whats and hows and what ifs, you're going to be able to catch that person's filter for absorbing the reason to listen to what you're about to say. And when you're even observing yourself, almost notice as if you are radiating. Like practice that. Even like right now, imagine radiating energy out. Going into that place and saying to yourself, that's my domain. Like as if you are putting an energy out to whatever the place is, but that's your domain. Wherever you go, that's yours. And that means when you step into that place where you're about to speak, you're telling your unconscious mind that this is where we get to shine. This is what we want. And why not speak to your unconscious mind? Like there have been many a times when I've been ill, when I've had to do a teaching gig. But when I'm actually doing it, I don't feel the illness because I tell my unconscious mind, well, this is how I want to perform. This is there's the reason why I'm doing it, because I want to help someone today, or it could be for you. I want to get this job and it will mean X, Y, Z, bigger pay rise, doing something I like, supporting my family is so important. Not in like a negative consequence way that you're overloading yourself, but you're just telling your unconscious mind, we're in this together. How can you support me today? How can I have this to be the best way of communicating? You see, the person with the most conviction in their communication will always win the conversation. There was a study between two hypnotists, in fact, where one hypnotist was told to do a certain hypnotic phenomenon, and the other hypnotist was told to do the exact same one. The first hypnotist knew they could do it, believed it would work, because they've done it, or they just believed in the power of hypnosis, where the other hypnotist didn't believe it would work. They're like, that is not going to work. Well, the person, or the hypnotist who believed it would work, was able to produce the hypnotic phenomenon, whereas the person who did not was unable to produce it. So that goes a long way, and there's many studies on this when it comes to communication, from doctors in how they have rapport with their patients, and even the outcome of healing. Many. I'll try and remember the book name. But it's the person who did Outliers. I cannot remember. This is being broadcast live on YouTube, by the way, so if you know who I'm talking about, put it in the chat and then I'll let everyone know what it is. But the book Outliers, and lots of big books. I'm trying to think. But anyway, being able to communicate and have certainty in your voice, in your reason, in your self-belief, in what you're communicating, it causes the other person to accept what you're saying. So it does go back to our esteem. It goes back. Malcolm Gladwell, thank you so much, Mina. This being live recorded once again, or streamed. Malcolm Gladwell, he wrote a book all about communication. So as I was saying about self-certainty, like, if you're not certain in your own identity, if you don't believe you're good enough or worthy, well, what does that mean in the quality of your words? Your tone, your physiology? Like, just try it on. If you feel not worthy, how does that message, or that, you could say, that energy, go into the words that you're saying? You could be saying the most wonderful, greatest words ever to be said, but if you're doing it with a lack of self-belief, that person's not going to receive the words in a way that you would like. And that's why I go back to that visual rehearsal, or listening to the hypnosis session coming out on the next episode, because I want you to have the self-certainty and the self-belief in who you are. So that means your words resonate. Your words will resonate. You'll be able to create beautiful pictures in their mind. It'll resonate with them. It'll cause them to feel certain things just by having that certainty. So it does go back to our identity. It does go back to our self-worth. So one of the things to do is that visual rehearsal, and be aware about the communication of your physiology, of your tone and all those things, slowing things down to ignore and delete the ums and the ahs, building some of that embracing of the silence. Because people will hang on your words, by the way, when you do that. But to do the visual rehearsal immediately, like if you want to get going right away, rehearse well how you want to be, how you want to come across. But also, don't neglect your own self-identity, because that creates a lack of confidence. If I don't believe I'm good enough, if I believe I'm an imposter, if I believe I'm not worthy to be on the stage, or if I believe I'm not worthy to get that job, or I'm not good enough to be able to say what I want, then of course it's going to be a little bit trickier. So that should be like the main thing you do overall, is to focus on your identity, because then when you do, you'll say things with certainty. You'll say things with a level of presence. You will radiate it, rather assume energy toward you. And it will allow you to go, I can say what I want in any situation, wherever I go, because you believe in what you're saying. Because you believe in who you are. You see, your beliefs will dictate your capacity. Your capacity will dictate your behaviors in who you are and in any environment. So if we stop, or we should say we start at the identity level, it will just filter down to everything that we do in the way that we communicate, in the way that we say things. So the first protocol is to practice the visual rehearsal, but don't neglect the deeper work, because that's going to get you everything anyway, right? That's going to get you the relationship, because if you feel good enough and worthy, then you're not going to be taken advantage of. You're not going to be attracting the narcissist. You'll be able to stand up for yourself, but you'll also be able to go into extremely stressful situations, maybe for you in the past, but to actually enjoy it. Because I enjoy public speaking. I get a little bit, it's probably not even nerves, it's more anticipation, right? Because there's a difference between being nervous and anticipation. Because if you're anticipating, you're looking of how to improve. Nervousness creates anxiety, which makes you think of all the things you don't want to happen. So when I get that anticipation, it allows me to be able to communicate the way that I want to, and I enjoy it. And thinking back, I could never, ever, ever imagine enjoying public speaking. I never could even imagine that, but I really enjoy it. I let go of my core limiting beliefs. I began to apply the things that I've said, understand about communication in itself, understand the origin of why they, and the reason why I said about the origin, by the way, just to kind of close that loop, is you've got to remember either A, it was in our DNA, right? Like way, way, way back when we were called up in front of authority figures in our tribes and villages and things like that, which means we could be in trouble or at least expecting an answer, and realize that's not you. That's just something which is kind of lingered on in our neurology. And the other one is when we're a kid, so let's say that's the one, well, you're not a kid anymore. Like, those were learned strategies, but you assumed for the best of intentions because you didn't know better, right? Because you're a kid. If you knew the reality of it, you'd go to and probably tell yourself, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world. And that will maybe start to reframe your relationship to speaking, to separate what is not yours anymore. Because that will mean you can then draw some new conclusions of what you'd like it to be. Ask yourself, how would you like to speak? How would you like to enjoy the speaking experience? To embrace that quietness, to pronounce certain words with intention that causes people to just automatically listen. There's so many elements to speaking, but I think when you get to that place of just going, do you know what, I'm okay. I'm worthy to be here. Like, do the work around that if you don't believe you're worthy, but when you do, you're like, it's okay. I'm allowed to be here. This is where I get to shine. This is where I get to have fun. And embrace mistakes. It happens. It's normal speaking. Even the ums and the ahs, I trip up on my words a lot, but it's not going to stop me try to communicate what I'd like to. Because if I can embrace my faults in my language, and I get comments about how I speak sometimes, but if I allow those comments to stop me doing what I love, yeah, I'm going to probably take them on board and learn from them, but it's not going to stop me. It's not going to stop who I want to become. So tell yourself you get to enjoy this. You get to experience this, to radiate, to push out your energy, but that's your domain wherever you go. That you can enjoy the silence between the words, between the sentences. We can speed up and all those kind of things. It becomes more of a playful thing. It allows us to express ourselves in our physiology and so much more. Because just think, if we are communicating 93% of our communication, right, it means they're doing the same thing. So you can affect their neurology in ways that you never knew possible. But once you start to understand that you can, then that's where you're going to start to make wonderful, beautiful changes in your life. Go ahead and listen to the next episode when it's out. If it's out already, it'll be a day hypnosis session, and also there'll be a bonus episode of a sleep version within the app as well. And that means you get to transform as you go to sleep. And if you haven't got the app, you can go to freehypnosis.app, where you get all the access to all these free episodes. We're episode 838 now, and we just looked before the stream. We've got 14 million downloads just in that free section. Just from the podcast, 14 million downloads. And that's just me speaking. That's how it came about, from someone who's super nervous and shy and worried and fearful and never felt he was enough, to be able to do that. So if I can do it, then you definitely can as well. But you can create custom hypnosis sessions. You can have day and night versions. You can do playlists. You can favorite, loop, download 4-hour hypnosis sessions, morning meditations, audio programs. Soon we'll be adding more sessions in there and more audio programs and so on. There's night and dark mode. There's so much within the app. And if you are enjoying it, please go ahead and leave a review. Your words, your written words, as we know, words are still important. They can inspire someone to be able to go, I'm going to take a leap of faith and listen to it. In fact, wouldn't it be pretty cool, I'm just thinking about it, to have audio reviews on apps? Because then you get the whole thing, not just, oh, there's a great app. Because that set of words could be, oh, it's a great app. Or it could be, this is a great app. So his tone changes everything. App stores, maybe add a functionality for that. But yes, please go ahead and review the app if you're getting value. It just means we get to help more people in the world. So thank you so much for being on this live stream, if you were here live, or if you're just enjoying the free episodes. I greatly appreciate you, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next one, which will be the day hypnosis session on speaking powerfully, communicating effectively, and then the nighttime one after that. Many thanks and goodbye. There we go. We are back. So let me scroll back a little bit. Yeah, I'd probably like to do a masterclass on public speaking. That'd be kind of cool, to break it down into a manual and try to play with it. Because that format system is a game changer. And did you notice that I tend to do that? So welcome back to the podcast. Today we're doing this. Now, why is it important to do this? Well, what really is it? Or how does it actually work? And what if you do apply it? It just resonates with far more people. That'd be kind of cool. Oops. Listen to the hypnosis session coming up. That would be great. And thank you for the Malcolm Gladwell. I can't remember the book. Yeah. The app, it's free access for 7 days, and then it's unlimited downloading, all the functions of playlist. It works out in US dollars at $29, which is around $2.50 a month if you break it down. Or you can do it a monthly, which is $4.99, but you get like a 50% discount if you, for a whole year, for as many create your hypnosis sessions day and night, the 4-hour ones, the morning meditations, the audio programs, the playlists, and all that stuff. It works out $29, I think. per year. Which is harder, speaking to a physical audience or to a virtual one, as in the streams? So it's tricky, because on the one hand I have this safety mechanism. I got a little lens right here, but I miss out on the communication and feedback. Like, I'm literally just talking into a camera. If you see what I see myself in different areas, and I'm seeing the cameras. So there's a lack of rapport, communication, because I don't have any feedback. I haven't got I don't know if you're doing, oh my goodness, that doesn't make sense. I don't know if you're going, oh, that does make sense. I don't know if you've walked away. I don't know if you've turned me off. It's just like there's no rapport. So there is a level of safety that I'm not there, but also I lose rapport. Whereas when I'm on stage, I get to control the energy more. Like, I like to just step up on stage and just feel that moment and look at people. And it's kind of enjoyably scary. And that means I get instant feedback. I get to walk around the room. I get to look at people and chain people up to each other people. But that sounds weird. Not mean like that. But I mean linking up the communication with people. Because if I notice that they're looking away, I can get back and rapport with them and then lead them back into the main crowd. So it's more technical in ways. And also what I imagine, I learned this trick, I didn't say it. Imaginary big hands and arms wrapping around the room all the way to the back of the room. And that means they're in your energy. So I like that one as well. But yeah, I prefer the physical audience. But there's more of an expectation. It's easier to do the live stream because there's more protection, but you lose that connection. Like, I love running seminars and events. I should do them more. Should. That's funny. Yeah. So I was trying to purposely slow down a little bit more. Slowing down a little bit. Joseph at josephclough.com. My assistant Sarah will get it before me, but that's the best way. That's the best way to reach out to me. Maybe, but you also know some good public speakers. Thank you so much. Yeah. Me too. It's like when you're going around the room, you've got to introduce yourself. There's that kind of nervousness, a hesitation as well. Thank you, my friend. Kevin Michael Reed, you're so mean. So mean. But great to have you here, nevertheless. Yeah, I like that'd be kind of cool. It just popped into my mind. A little audio review. You are most welcome. Yeah, the lovely Sarah, who spoke to you today. So that concludes our live episode recording. The music was too loud just in the post bit there. So I don't know what else we got to say. Anything else before we close off the stream? It wasn't a short one as I thought. We've also got our user in, is it Bucharest? It's like Austria, right? Is that Austria? Denver, Arlington Heights, wherever that is. Dawsonville, Baltimore, Amherst. Where's Amherst? Albuquerque. I've been there. I got Auckland in New Zealand. Brisbane now as well is kicked in. Copenhagen. There we go. Denmark. Good thing is, if you had it then, you can get it back. You can get it back. It's even easier because you've had it already. In my mind. Usually I say in my mind. It goes long as well now. You are most welcome, superstar. So happy to see your transformations. Yeah. I had to do one of those kind of things in business college as well. But I dropped out, so I can't even remember. But you had to videotape. It was like a mock interview, but you had to videotape. But that was before even Facebook even existed, I think. Yeah, it must have been. But that's crazy. Yeah, there we go. That's funny. It is a funny word, isn't it? Albuquerque. So if you were good at speaking before, you can now. Not necessarily you can do it immediately. I'm just saying you've had a strategy in the past that worked. Like if you've never ridden a bike, it's going to be pretty tricky to learn how to ride a bike as an adult. But if you've ridden a bike once before when you're a kid or a few times before, it's going to be easier to remember it. So if you were good at something previously, you can get the unconscious mind to remember it, or at least kind of get back to the confidence levels that you had back then. You still need to maybe refine the skill of it, but you'd have the confidence or whatever the situation to be able to get back to, because you've had a strategy that has worked. Okay, my friends, we will end this live stream. We've been streamed for an hour and 15 minutes of just me speaking. So, yeah. I'll be back on Wednesday. Once again, happy Tomorrow Day, no matter where you are in the world, whether it be Treason Day, Independence Day, Happy Canadian Day, which was like yesterday, was it? Happy any day tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I will be here for the live hypnosis session, and then I'll edit that into a sleep one. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. And I will speak to you very, very soon. Many thanks and goodbye.